Eat the cake, Edna. Eat the cake.
Oh, I'm in trouble. Something's on my mind. Can somebody please tell me what's wrong? You know what that is, Terri?
No, what is it, Erica?
What's love got to do with it? Is it the movie? It's just like I think it's because I said, now mind you, this is the turn of events, and I'm at the store. And I just knew those cakes were on sale again. Buy one, get one free. Those pepper charm cakes. And I get this chocolate cake. And then I'm thinking about eat the cake, Edna. Eat the cake. With what's his name? Ike Turner. And he like smushes that cake in her face. He was like, try this cake. This is good cake, Edna. Eat this cake. And so today I was thinking, you know what? It's true. We don't want to eat the cake. Like we have the cake and we want to look at the cake. And then we say we're like, we want to observe it and get a little bit of icing. But I think we're afraid to eat the cake, even if we have it. Like we have the tools, the instruments, we have money or things that we need, right? To do magnificent things. But then we're afraid to actually enjoy it, the abundance of what we have, because we don't feel like we deserve it or we feel like we're going to lose it. We're just afraid to actually have our cake and eat it too. That was my thought for today.
You know, going with that, it's like if you Facebook often I get these pictures of these amazing cakes with flowers and decorations. They're absolutely gorgeous. And it's like, oh, that's such a gorgeous cake. It looks like fine bone shine. Yeah, why would you eat it? And it's like, or you watch these shows on TV and they make these magnificent cakes, but it's like, no, these are for you to eat and to enjoy. So sometimes we'll come to the trough, right? But then we won't eat it. And what is it that prevents us from enjoying that ultimate taste, right? That ultimate taste in life. Are we afraid? Are we afraid we'll be disappointed? Because it's so beautiful out there, but is it going to be, will we be disappointed? So sometimes we come just to the precipice and say,
Yeah. It's so funny because you're talking about that. I guess on your wedding cake, you feel like it's my wedding. And, you know, exactly. So the wedding person, they might feel like they deserve it. But it's like, what if you just went somewhere and had something decadent, delightful, and beautiful? I mean, if you think about it, the creator didn't skimp on flowers. He didn't make one kind of flowers. There's like this endless amount of the kinds of flowers, and there's this endless amount of the kinds of trees and birds and fish. And I doubt, I think they've tried to, but I just really don't think that they've found every bird and every flower and every fish and things like that. But if the creator saw fit to bring forth these things in such amount of abundance that you can't count them on two hands and your toes, you can't.
Yeah.
This was for you to enjoy. This is the beauty that was put here for you to enjoy. And he didn't skimp, he didn't skimp, or the creator, he, mother, father, he, she did not skimp in all creation. And then I can think of some things where I'm just really cheap with myself. And it's funny because I will do amazing things for someone else, but then I'll be cheap with myself on what I will give myself or do for myself. Even when it comes to like making the jewelry, a lot of the stuff that I make, like I'll make it, but then I'm like, I don't go into the detail of making something special for me when I could make something elaborate, and sometimes, I think I watch shows with my son, and I even tell him that too. I said, sometimes we have the energy to do for other people these things that we won't do for ourselves. I won't cook for myself a lot of times. I've seen one girl, she would cook a piece of meat, a potato, like she would cook like one of everything for herself. Her electric was crazy. But for me, like if no one else is going to eat, like I would be like, okay, I'm going to eat some noodles or something, or like I would eat what would be probably considered a snack instead of making something beautiful for myself. And I think it's something, I know it's something that I'm trying to change for myself, but as today, that was just my thought, like enjoy it. Enjoy it. Eat the best piece of cake. Enjoy it. Because you deserve it. And I think we grow up, especially if we come from a religious background, our religious upbringing is you were born a sinner. So you're like born a loser, and you don't deserve, and you got to earn. And it's like, actually, no, you deserve love. You deserve positivity. You deserve joy. You deserve abundance. It's, getting closer to what your birthright is. And so I'd written in the comments, how do you feel? Like, what do you feel like you've been skimping on, losing out on, or not being willing to give yourself? Because you have to love yourself. And I think a lot of times too, people can love other people or give to other people, but you have to start with yourself first. And this led into that constitution that I created, that constitution that you'll make contracts with other people, but what's first is you got to make a contract with yourself so that you don't become an overgiver and become out of balance and out of place. And then if I'm a person who's giving all the time and other people are asking, but I never have the courage to ask anybody for what I want or what I need, then I end up having people around me that actually just end up taking from me, depleting me, and taking all my energy and not giving anything back to refill my emotional bank account. You have an emotional bank account that needs to be given back to. And that's why givers can attract users very easily, because you never ask for anything back. There was something else that I was going to say about
I was just going to say, when you're a giver and you step back and you ask for something in response, all those people, like, they don't know how to handle it. Like, I'm not, you're always the one who's giving, but when you need something just a little bit, it's like all of a sudden they disappear, like they just
Right.
go into the background, and it's like, well, they're there to take, but they don't want to give. And you can be this person who is giving, and you can allow the flow to come to you, but we do have emotional needs, we do have physical needs, and sometimes we just need a little bit of appreciation for being who we are. And we need to receive just as much as we give.
And people do that with your friendships, not even just like money or resources. It's your time too. They want you to go where they want to go. And then if you ask them for a favor, they don't have it. Or they want to call you every time they break up with their boyfriend or have a fight or get in a fight with their mom. And then it's like they want you to listen, but they don't. They couldn't even tell you like anything about anything that's going on in your life, but they want you to have time to invest your energy into listening to them as a sounding board and stuff like that. But why do you not notice when you're putting more into something and not getting anything out? And so I'm just wanting people to ask themselves that, because even personally for me, I'm starting to have conversations now where even if someone's tone is too strong or I feel like I need something emotionally, I'm letting people know, like, I'm a woman, I have feelings, I am sensitive. You hurt, like you're hurting me, or I need this from you. And I'm really feeling like the need to vocalize that with not just everybody, because you really don't need that from everybody, right? But if it's somebody who's going to be close to you and someone that you feel should value you, or someone you feel that you value, I should be able to tell you, you know what I really need right now? I don't need advice. I need sympathy. I need a shoulder. I need a hug. Or if you need advice, maybe that's what you need. But sometimes I just need emotional support. I have feelings.
Yeah, this is I think part of what happens to a lot of us is that we are around in this lifetime being that person who gives and is supportive of people and all of that, but sometimes we need to be replenished. And the replenishment, yes, we can connect with the source, but we have people around us, and it would be nice to just receive that piece of cake for us. And that cake is those. It represents, what is cake? It's the sweet things in life, and sometimes maybe that's what we're missing, is that sweetness. Is we can persevere, we can go through it, but just sometimes I want to be just feel that decadence. I want some sweetness, and having that piece of cake is metaphorical in that it's time for us to receive that. So that's where have you gone to get the cake, Erica? Is that where you've gone?
My contractor came to me, and so I had to get the receipt, and then he's fussing at me for being barefoot. I said, but I was on YouTube. So anyway, and so Sheena, or Shanae, is it Sheena or Shanae? Shanae. It's Shanae. Anyway, she was saying how she feels, and I know because we've entered some groups where maybe we didn't receive back, but like we just don't need to be. Some people can go inside big groups and just overshare and take a lot. And so from the outside, as a sensitive person like me, you, Shanae, or even Jax, like you can go into that group and you don't feel comfortable, but you're not the person that's going to like dump your whole purse on the table to get everybody to to garner sympathy for you. Like some people, you can literally see this, people that overshare, but that's like some emotional vampire type stuff. What you really want is intimacy. And you want to share in spaces that are safe spaces and where people, you've already learning each other's boundaries, and you guys, have the ability to be sensitive towards one another. And so when you go into the larger groups, then you could try to be like, well, why don't I fit in? Because you're just not that person. You're not greedy. You're actually this sensitive person that doesn't want to dump your person, doesn't want to, but other people are just emboldened in that way. And so they get all the sympathy. But what you really want is safe space and nurturing. And I will say it starts with yourself, but then we have to recognize, does this person have the capacity to actually be my friend in that way? Because we can't share everything with everybody, because we're operating on different levels with different people,
I think one of the other things we have to realize is that we do dwell on the fringe. We're not mainstream like these other people, and there are those people who are always constantly wanting stuff. But the thing is that we are on that outside rim, and so we are there to help and to guide people. But sometimes we just need that support to just say, yeah, just sit back for a minute. Let me bring you the piece of cake. Here's some cake. You sit back and enjoy it, and let me do that for you. Because you know what? I appreciate what you're doing for the rest.
Yeah. And that definitely requires us verbalizing and vocalizing it as mom and wife or companion and sister. Sometimes as people aren't used to giving that to us, because maybe it's because you're strong, or maybe it's because they don't know. And sometimes we can sit around and kind of expect people to understand how we feel or what we want. But the variation on what people want is so different. Like some women might go to Lowe's and they don't want help because I'm offended that you tried to help me because I'm a woman. I know what I want. And it's like, okay, so now people tend to pull back, and you're wondering like, well, why is it? Because a lot of people are not good at that, right? And so people don't know what you want versus what other people want. Some people don't want help. Some people don't want the hug. Some people want to tough it out. I will just say it depends on the situation and who it's coming from. I get what I need from where I need it, and I express it in these situations where I want it from. But then too, I know that if I'm not getting that response from that person, then I know they maybe don't have the capacity to give me that. So I got to go. You could even say that with the parenting and the forgiving the parents, because sometimes we have to forgive people for not being what we need them to be, or what we want them to be, or what we expect them to be. And we have to forgive them for that, because they just don't have it. You don't, I don't want to use any example of like a missing body part or something, but if somebody has missing parts, then they can't give you what they don't have themselves. But I know you've been digging around in those cards, Terri.
I do, and I the cards that came out was from the Gratitude Oracle, and I just pulled 3 cards, and so it's interesting the ones that came up. So I'm going to read part of this. So the first card that came up was the culmination, and it was it's number 55, and it's what it says here is, you are aware of who you desire to be and how you would like to act, how you want to be perceived, and the goals you intend to complete. You hold an idea of what your best self's actions, feelings, and appearance would be. Your ideal self is likely to be an image of efficiency and healthy behavior, definite ambitions, and other attributes that are important to you. At times, due to your busy schedule or unforeseen interruptions, your aims get set aside. You might simply feel unmotivated or unproductive. You can take steps to turn yourself around and get back to your ideals. This will help you realize your goals. Keep your goals within reach by making them attainable. You can do this by breaking a larger goal into smaller steps that are easier to accomplish. Reflect on your goals and desires and consider what is needed to achieve your objective. Make a list of the basic steps and form your plan. Plotting your course can help you feel peaceful and confident. As you accomplish your smaller goals, celebrate your successes. Create a habit of focusing on your positive attributes and cheering yourself on. This will help when you have a setback or momentary lull. And the next one that I selected here was self-care. And that's number 12. Taking care of yourself includes engaging in activities and making choices that foster your mental, emotional, and spiritual and physical well-being. It may be ingrained in you that self-care is overrated, self-centered, or selfish. Many sources promote the idea that self-care is negative, but as you focus your attention on your health and care, you are more capable of supporting others. Self-care can help you stabilize and balance your activities so they aid others. Understanding this allows you to diminish feelings of guilt and amplify the rewards of caring for yourself. Surrounding yourself with positive, loving, and supportive individuals is one of the best ways to further your self-care. Community encouragement increases your resilience in the face of stressors, enhances immunity, and provides a sense of unity. Whether support comes from coworkers, family, friends, or members of a club, school, or church, you can benefit from shared bonds. A support system is mutually beneficial. The encouragement and assistance you receive allow you to encourage and support others. Make sure the people who surround you value you and don't leave you feeling drained. And the third card is number 8, and that's kind-hearted. Being thoughtful, friendly, and open will help you to be more compassionate. Practicing kindness is the groundwork for lifting your thoughts into positivity and hope. Showing kindness through actions, words, and attitude reduces the stress hormones produced in your brain. Set aside a few minutes each day to imagine a situation in which someone you care about needs your help. Envision their concerns, worries, or stress. Include as many troubling factors as you can. By doing this exercise, you will develop an appreciation for the challenges faced by your loved ones. In turn, you will foster empathy for those who know less well. You can also use this activity to increase your compassion for yourself. And I think that's the important part here. After imagining how you would care for a friend or a loved one, decide to care for yourself in the same manner. You deserve to treat yourself in a kind-hearted way. Think of kind gestures that you can offer others each day, such as sharing a compliment or a positive word. After a while, you will have created a habit of acting empathetically. Also practice acknowledging when something kind is done for you by voicing your gratitude. Saying thank you may not appear like a big deal, but genuine gratitude shows the kindness that has not gone unnoticed. Showing appreciation helps improve your well-being and that of your relationships. Well, so after pulling these cards, and I'll post them onto the Telegram channel, but it's almost like, just like we've been talking about, is there's that culmination. We know who we are, and part of it is self-care and being kind-hearted towards ourselves. So maybe what would be beneficial is to take a few moments in contemplation or in meditation or in journaling and just reflect on who we are and be thankful to ourselves and be kind-hearted to ourselves and saying, you know what, you are that person that you wanted to become. You are kind-hearted, you are generous, you are, be grateful for what you do have, and instead of looking at the challenges that we have, look at what we've overcome. We are resilient beings, and we've had, many challenges in our life, and we've overcome those things. And so we have that within us to overcome it. And it's not always about the lessons that we have to learn. It's now being able to take what we've learned and propel us forward. It does give us that ability to overcome the obstacles. And, maybe when it comes to giving the support to others, it's not giving of ourselves, it's allowing it to flow through us. And so as it flows through us, we're also gaining that energy of self-compassion. Like it's going to be, water flowing through a pipe. There's still water that stays within the pipe. And so as it flows through us, we're also garnering that energy that we can put out. So that's about being kind-hearted to ourselves, self-caring for ourselves. I don't know what you want to add to that, Erica.
Well, you know what it made me think? Like, there's the one thing that you said too, and it was this person that you are kind-hearted. You are this. You're a giver. You're that. Just because you are a giver and you're kind, it doesn't mean that you can't put your foot down. It doesn't mean that you can't ask for anything, and it doesn't mean that you can't have boundaries. And I think maybe that identity, like we get trapped in the identity, right? Of I'm a good person. And guess what? You can be a good person, but you have to be a good person to yourself, or you're going to get, you get stepped on, you're going to get used, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get manipulated. So just because you're this good person, it doesn't mean that you can't invoke wisdom in your situations. Right. We have to have some type of self-preservation has to kick in on our parts to allow us to be wise in our choices. They got that saying about giving pearls to swine and stuff like that, because maybe sometimes we're giving ourselves to people who don't deserve it. There's people who deserve it, and there's people who really do need it. So just give it in the right place. Give it at the right time. Don't create like this savior martyr identity where you end up losing your whole self. And because there are people you can help. Just make sure you're helping the right people. Want to appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And feel free to put in the comments, like, share, subscribe, share this with somebody who needs it. And we'll check you out on Telegram. That's what I'm thinking.
And in the meantime, go and buy yourself the most delicious cake and enjoy it.
Ooh, eat the cake, Edame. It's no time for a diet.
Eat the cake. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Oh, I said we're gonna dance it out. Like, if you leave early, you won't see us dance it out. No kidding. See you later, y'all. I think I was.
See you later.
Having fun playing with controls.